Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for being so patient. I know I'm always kind of late, and I apologize. But this is going to be a special show. So, what we're going to do is decode tarot, the history, and also investigate the origin because there's so much controversy out there about where it came from: Italy, France, Egypt, the Babylonians. So, we're going to get into it. I put together a little video that I'm going to put here at the front. We're going to watch first. And just after that video, feel free to put some questions in the chat. This will be a live Q&A as well as the questions I already have from a lot of you. So we'll go over everything. But while you're watching this video, it might spark some questions that you may have that maybe you never even thought about. So I'm going to play this now. I made this video just a little while ago, so I wouldn't be copyrighted. So I made my own video. So I'm going to remove that from the screen. And so pay attention. Here you go. It's about 3 minutes long, but we're going to start it now. Nobles and aristocrats engaged in a game called Tarot, a clever pastime combining skill, strategy, and a touch of luck. It wasn't until a few decades later that these intriguing cards found their way into the world of mysticism, becoming the cornerstone of divination. As we dive into this video, we're going to look over all the beautiful art from ancient decks into modern-day tarot. We're also going to look at a few of the meanings and the differences between the ancient tarot and modern-day tarot by Rider-Waite. We're also going to look into Aleister Crowley as well, the Book of Thoth, and also the original Book of Thoth by Atelier, also known as Antoine Court de Gabon. So we're going to look into that and the biblical classics, such as this first card from ancient times of Italy. This is called the Lover's Staircase. As you can see, it's a staircase leading to the heavens. Many angels, if not all, and it also looks like rejoicing of lovers and family as they climb the stairway to heaven. Next, we have another deck. This is very ancient. This is from Egypt. This is an Egyptian deck. So there's a lot of controversy. Did tarot begin in Egypt? Did it begin in Italy? France? Where did it originate? And we're going to look into that today. The true answers. We're going to use tarot to discover the true answers. The Book of Thoth, originally by Antoine Court de Gabon, then Aleister Crowley, in his time, developed the Book of Thoth. Then Rider-Waite developed the Rider-Waite deck. The most well-known, the most successful deck is the Rider-Waite version. So we're going to look into all of it. And why did Rider-Waite take over tarot? We're also going to look into this ancient deck as well from Italy, France as well. All of the ancient decks have beautiful art, softer, richer colors, all to intrigue the subconscious mind. We're going to look into the originals, the rich colors, the schemes, and how they addressed certain aspects and certain symbols. The symbolism changed, as you can see here, sacrifice in the Rider-Waite deck. This next card is an ancient tower card. It doesn't display a sacrifice, but it does display individuals falling. Then we have the Death card, Scorpio Energy and Meaning by Rider-Waite. We also see other death cards in ancient decks. And we will go over this as well in our own tarot reading today. The mysteries will always be why the symbolism and so many different forms of tarot. So many decks have been created. A library of Alexandria destroyed in Egypt. Was the true tarot from Egypt? Why was this library destroyed? And why only 78 cards when there is research that found there were many, many more than 78 cards? Today we're going to discover the truth. All right, so we're going to do that. You guys, hopefully you guys got some questions and you sparked something in your mind that you've been wondering about. But we are going to go over a lot because as I did a lot of digging over the past couple of weeks, really, I've come to find that there's older decks out there that were only about 50 cards. Then there was like 54. Then it jumped to 63 to 78. But that library in Egypt, there are claims that there were more cards and there was more information and more of a story. So that's what I want to get down to the bottom. I want to really find out, and maybe we can get some downloads as to what they were trying to hide from humanity. Because I do believe that there's a lot of beauty and there's a lot of knowledge, wisdom. It was to guide and help people. Of course, it started out and they used them as a game, but I feel like they used them as a game because they didn't know what else to do with them. So they created a game, the elites, the rich of back in the day, 1400s we're talking. So maybe even some of us were around as well. I do know that there's an echo, and I believe it's my phone, the card camera. So I'm going to turn that down. Hopefully it's better. Is that better? Give me a 5x5. I could just turn it off altogether and just hold up the cards. So we could do that. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do actually. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is we're going to really investigate the origins of the tarot. And I will be using some of our modern day tarot decks, such as this one here. So this is a modern deck that kind of took off of Rider-Waite, which a lot of them do. And if you look back, I'm going to share screen actually. So the ancient tarot decks, the older ones, I'm going to share this one especially. So this one you can see, this is from ancient times. This is when they had their little game called Tarot or something like that. So the cards back in the day, some of them kept showing like bodies falling from higher places, such as this one here. And a lot of nudity. So I'm not going to put that on the screen because it'll get a copyright. But there's a lot of nudity as well we're talking about the original first ancient decks. You don't really see so much of that in the Egyptian decks. I will note that. So I feel like there's something going on between the two. So we'll have to look into that. But throw your questions in the chat if you have any regarding ancient tarot. We are going to pull cards on Aleister Crowley as well. Some of his work has been said to be very dark, so we're going to look into that and pull cards. And I'll just hold up the cards because I did turn off the other camera. But here we go. We're going to start with some of these requested questions that had come in. So this first one here about Rider-Waite. Okay, so Rider-Waite is known to be the biggest, the most marketed, the most in your face. This is the deck to get. Rider-Waite. So what exactly led everything to kind of stop in the old illustrations of really beautiful, rich colors, as you saw in that video? Really rich, beautiful colors that actually, if you saw my video about my cards and about color psychology, that's what they did back in the day. A lot of them, the Italian deck especially, very vibrant, very rich colors that really sparked and intrigued the subconscious mind. But it seemed it was a loss with the Rider-Waite. It doesn't really necessarily have that. They're not soft colors. They're very, very bright. And they're different. You guys have seen them enough. But there's a lot to that. So what we're going to do about this question, we're going to ask it right here, right now. Why was Rider-Waite greatly marketed with added symbolism of Christianity more so than the others? Because with the original decks, the Italian and the French decks, all of that, they're very beautiful, and the religion that they put into it was more of a heavenly nature with angels. And if you noticed in that video I made, there's a lover's staircase, which is like angels, and like when we go to that realm, we meet and we greet our loved ones, our soulmates, and our children, and all of it, right? The whole family thing. So the ancient decks took more that route, but here with this modern day with the Rider-Waite, let's pull cards on this. So why was it so greatly marketed? and the added symbolism of Christianity. Why did it have that more so than others? So let's just take a look. I am going to read from this more modern day deck right now with this question. I will be switching and using the Arcana Shores deck as well, but I'm going to be changing it up since a lot of these decks are influenced by Rider-Waite. It'll pick up the energy. So here we go. Let's take a look. Our first card happens to be the Tower card. And for YouTube, I have to cover the nudity, but it is a nude man falling from the tower. So just like in the Rider-Waite original decks as well, it's people are falling from the tower. So let's see, there was change. The tower moments of our lives, and we're asking this question. This was because they wanted to change the information. They wanted to change what's going to be sparked with the reader. If someone wants to learn how to read, which they tried to kind of take you off course. So it's a little too confusing to memorize all their meanings. So they kind of threw a bunch of symbolism in there. But this one here, the tower, so change, they're trying to change the path of the whole tarot, because back in the day, the 1500s, the mystics and the magicians and very talented, really smart geniuses were figuring out that you can connect with the other side, you can connect with whatever is coming next, fortune telling for real fortune telling. So once they caught wind of that, it appears that this great change happened with tarot. Rider-Waite was the massive tower moment for the history of tarot. 10 of Pentacles was the next card I pulled. So we know that this is about fortune, clearly, as you can see here. So not only that, but the popularity. They wanted this to be mass marketed. They wanted everybody to have this deck who were interested. So this would be the most found deck. And yes, I have quite a few of them myself. So I'm guilty too, because I was always told that that's the one to get. You want to get that one to start, especially to learn and stuff. So yeah, of course, I did the same thing. But it looks to me like the mass marketing of this was to change the whole course of tarot and get it away from the beauty, the luxury of the original decks and away from the angels in the heavenly realm. The only card in the Rider-Waite deck, as you all know, with an angel, well, they've got the Judgment card and the Temperance card, but you're not really seeing a whole lot more. You're seeing the Devil card. That looks pretty scary, right? And people with chains. I can't hold it up because it has nudity, but yes, that's going to confuse a reader. That's going to confuse someone who's trying to connect to their higher self if they're trying to learn. So if you found yourself kind of confused or stumped, basically, with a book of tarot, and here's the meanings, then that's probably happened to you, and that's exactly what it is. The symbolism that they added, as we can see, was to change the course of tarot, to bring abundance, to get everyone on the same page as well. If everyone's believing the same story, which we all know this because we're all pretty much awake, right, that are here unless you're new. But what it comes down to is let's keep everybody on this scale. Everyone will have this book, Rider-Waite meanings, and they're going to continue to absorb that and think that that's the only meaning for the card. Yes, I do believe the base for these cards, the base comes from the originals. I do believe that. But what I'm seeing here is they wanted to change the whole entire course of where tarot was supposed to go to begin with, which mystics and magicians back in the day figured that out. And what happened to them? They got rid of them. They burned them at the stake. So, and maybe myself and a lot of you were there too. But actually, we're not letting that happen again. I feel this is this lifetime is to redeem all of that. So we're going to keep moving forward, but it is, yes, that is why Rider-Waite is so greatly marketed. That was their whole agenda, was to change tarot and to keep everybody in the same storyline. So let's go forward here. I have some more questions, and if you guys think of some, throw them in the chat. I'll check the chat in just a minute. So this one here, so that library, Alexandria, that I showed in my video, let's pull some cards on that. So that was destroyed. I believe in my research, I found that it was a fire. So let's take a look. I'm going to use the Arcana Shores Tarot deck for this one. So this was in Egypt. Why was this library, Alexandria in Egypt, destroyed? Here we go. So we have so this is like the Six of Wands. So this is a victory. This is a win. It was to get ahead. I feel like they were fighting over it. They were fighting over knowledge, over originality. It's been a huge controversy for decades, for centuries, about where did tarot originate. Here's the Page of Cups. So this is the Arcana Shores tarot deck, but that's the Page of Cups there. And I'm going to pull some more. So let's see where this is going. We have freedom with the Arcana Shores here. We also have the Three of Pentacles. So this was a huge setup. This was it was deliberate. We know this, but it was to free themselves from having to basically own up to the knowledge that was going to be exposed. So just like we're seeing now these days, dark versus light, I feel like it was actually about all the knowledge, the wisdom, the secrets. Arcana, if you guys don't know, arcana means secrets, the major and minor arcanas of tarot. So the major challenges, the major things that happen in our lives are the arcana. Those are the major arcanas. But they're major secrets and old wisdom, ancient wisdom from way, way back. And we're going to ask it. I feel like Egypt has a huge presence with the knowledge. They're the ones that had their library destroyed. It wasn't Egypt that did it. It was the others. So we're going to find out who the others are. But I have a feeling of who it was. I do feel it was I do think it was the French. And I'm just saying, I don't know that for a fact, but we're going to pull on it. Was it the French? Was it the French that destroyed that library in Egypt so that that knowledge and that old wisdom wouldn't be revealed to humanity? Here we go. 10 of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. So that is a yes. And also, it's coming to me about wealth, about power. This was about power. And that goes to show like why it was such a controversy for all these centuries of where did it originate and who had all the knowledge and wisdom and who came up with all of it. So to me, from looking at this spread, it looks like Egypt for sure. But yes, about the French. The French were definitely getting their paws on it and destroying the knowledge and the wisdom. They didn't want humanity to know. And they also wanted to take the lead and basically take the lead as, that they created all of this and started it all. So that's very interesting, and I'm glad that we pulled on that. We're going to move a bit forward here. I'm going to take a look in the comments before I jump on more questions from my banners here. And thank you to all of you who put in your questions before the show. That's where I was coming up with those. So let's take a look. Thank you so much for all the love out there that I see. Yeah, a lot of us have the Rider-Waite's, I see, that's for sure. Yep, so I'm not really seeing any questions. I thought I saw one earlier. But yeah, Lori C., you're correct. Just like everything else, trying to dumb us down and change history. And anything, too, that's widely marketed and pushed. And basically, Rider-Waite took over because they are the most owned deck from the 1900s when it was painted. Yeah, they were painted. But there's a lot of, I feel like, hidden things in there so that we can't pick up on the real knowledge, which is really, really messed up. But that's what the world has done to the people, to humanity. I don't have a steampunk deck. No, I don't. But I bet it's a cool one. That would be really cool. So I'm not really seeing any questions. I'm going to go to the new comments. Let's see. Do we ascend soon to 5D? It's not really related to the tarot, but we can definitely pull on that. Ascension, remember, I don't know if you're new here. I think I've seen your name, but welcome. Ascension is consciousness. So the consciousness, the more you expand it, yes, you will enter to a 5D frequency consciousness to where you won't really be able to function in a 3D reality. We are 3D bodies here, but consciously, no, we are much higher. We keep ascending. The more you expand your consciousness, the higher you're going to be. The way you take care of yourself, the energies you have around you, that all plays a major role in going to 5D. So yes, for sure. So I'm going to move on with the questions that I have here in the banners here. So this one, the Book of Thoth. So you guys probably all know, and I'm going to hold up a picture just for the energy. So Aleister Crowley. Now in my research, I feel, and this is an intuitive feeling, but I think that I'm correct. I feel that what he had done with the tarot and his input and his influence, I feel this is greatly to blame for Christians and religious groups to shame tarot readers and to shame and call us very down names like witches and all that kind of stuff, sorcerers and all that. So, because he had a darker approach, he had a dark intention, from what I gather. We're going to pull cards on this, though. Was the Book of Thoth under Crowley to influence and recruit people who felt desire to practice black magic with dark intention in motivation to create a cult following? So basically to create a collective that is open to doing the dark magic. So was that purposely intended to make that happen? Here we go. So the Eight of Cups. Okay, this is clear. So the Eight of Cups, and I'm going to stop sharing because I see Lisa out there in the chat. He is not sexy. You got that right. So you take him down. So Eight of Cups and the enlightenment of the Hanged Man. So his intention was, yes, to get more and more individuals away from their consciousness, away from downloads, spirituality, evolving, so as to hold them back. And that does make sense because whoever wasn't evolving or connecting spiritually, they would grasp onto a darker way, which would be like spells or, those kinds of things, which I don't even know anything about, but I know that they're dark, so I stay away. But I feel like that's exactly what this means here. Taking humanity away from where they need to be going with enlightenment and evolving spiritually. Consciousness. So just like we were talking about. So yes, it still rings true. He is a dark force. We're going to let that be. I've got some sage burning over here. So I don't really like to play with that kind of stuff, dark ones, but we had to pull it with this type of episode for sure. So this other question I have from someone out there. Thank you guys so much for your questions. So in 1781, it was noted by Court de Gebelin, I think, that the cards hold ancient wisdom with the Egyptians, intriguing to access realms and activate the subconscious mind. So this was a theory of his, but I do feel it's a pretty good theory. So this was in 1781. Do the cards hold ancient wisdom with the Egyptians, intriguing access to realms to activate the subconscious mind? Is this accurate? Yes or no? We have the Knight of Cups, so that's an automatic yes for sure. Let's see what else we have. We have also, so this is our Knight of Pentacles. We got both knights here. So the Knight of Cups with the Knight of Pentacles. So they both are bringers of news. They're both very wise beyond their years. The Knight of Pentacles brings good news to the people, messages. And also the Knight of Cups, love, harmony, peace, all those good things. So this is a major yes. I do believe his theory is correct. He's also known as, I don't know how you pronounce it. It's something with an E. I have notes, I just can't find them. But anyway, he goes by a different name too that you might also know. But he is one of the first mystics, the first tarot readers. I believe I have I do have a photo of him. So I'm going to hold up screen and pull cards on him right now. Gebelin. He does go by other names. So I forget I think it's Antoine or something. But anyways, this is him. So we're going to pull cards on him. He has been known in my research that he has been the first. Was he the first tarot reader? Professional tarot reader. Mystic. Let's take a look. Can you guys hear me now? Do you hear me or do you not? No sound. Dang. Buckshot, you could hear me? Tony, you could hear me? How crazy was that? So I unplugged the microphone, but the microphone was all lit up. So I don't understand actually, but I do feel that was a spiritual interference, I think. Because that's never happened. I mean, not recently. So that's kind of weird. I need to, let's pull cards. Was that an interference by spirit about this guy, Court de Jabin? Let's see. Interesting. Wow. Death and a rebirth card, transformation, King of Cups. So the tarot was saying yes, it was an interference, a spiritual interference. Wow. Lisa Victoria, Sea Ghost. The guy did it. Oh my gosh, I know. Well, I've got the sage going, but let me light some more. Man, I really wanted this show to be like, flawless, but it's not always going to be that way. So anyway, let's light it up because yes, the card said it was a spiritual interference. They don't want me to decode tarot, but I'm still going to. It makes me want to do it even more. So what we're going to do, maybe it was the banner I had up, I don't know. But let me pull some cards of you guys. Shelly Dressel had an issue with her microphone yesterday too. Interesting. I think they're messing with us. I really do. But anyways, let's go to your questions and have some fun. I saw someone's question in the chat, but it looks like I lost it. So I'm scrolling back up. Here we go. It was by Cos Monica, The Lost Cards. I'm wondering, would there have been cards about enlightenments and ascension or outer world characters in it or other planets? Now, that's a great question because the Egyptians, now, if you look, and you guys can also do a little research too. I should have pulled them up, but there's older tarot cards of theirs from Egypt, and they actually do have all the constellations in it. They're more heavy about constellations, and I noticed their world card was about like the cosmos. It was the cosmos, and then it was about new earth. So it was more about along the lines of what we are into right now and ascension. So let's pull cards on it. I love your question. So here we go. Would there have been cards, the missing cards? Would there have been cards about enlightenments and ascension or outer world characters, planets? You guys get the gist. Here we go. 6 of Cups. So that's absolutely a big sign of a yes. So let's see where this goes. The Knight of Wands and the World. So what we have here is a huge yes, and I just spoke of the World card. My World card is a beautiful woman there, Divine Feminine, holding the world in her hands, also the moon behind her. So definitely it's a yes, Cosmonica, great question. And I feel like this is correct because of what I found with the Egyptian tarot cards. And that's exactly what they would heavily illustrate. And I'm getting a great idea for my next deck too. But I love to have the cosmos in it, and it was very galactic. It's more along the lines of what we are into. So let's ask the question. Those were the hidden cards because of your question here. So were they trying to block humanity from knowing all their powers, their supernatural powers? Here we go. 4 of Pentacles, yep, trying to control it. And then here's the Queen of Wands. So trying to control what's coming to me with these 2 cards, trying to control the reader's mind, basically, so that they're not intrigued. He or she is not intrigued, and it just won't click about supernatural abilities. And, they did change, like Rider-Waite, for instance, is very bright, is very distracting, a lot of, like, especially the original, it's a bright, bright yellow sky in the background on a lot of their cards. But that bright, bright yellow, yes, with color psychology, it does strike us but it also will distract you. It distracts you more so than, like, for instance, gold. So gold, just like the older decks, like I put gold on my cards, that will actually stimulate the subconscious, and it will bring more info in, instead of pulling it out and wondering what's right and what's wrong. It actually will help you decipher ego versus intuition. So it's really crazy, but that's how colors actually operate in the brain. But let me take that down real quick. But thank you for your question. That was a great one. Let's take a look. Let's see what else is out there. So yes, there is a game. Shelley Dressel Chandler goes along with what I was thinking, that they used this, maybe called it a game, but it was actually how they awakened. Yeah, what I'm gathering, and let me share screen, what I'm gathering from just basically channeling, feeling it out as I was researching, I feel like it was a game that they just kind of threw together, honestly. So here's what I could find about their little rules of this game, okay? So Terrarochi, I guess that's how you say it. All the games, there's this rule that a player that can't follow suit must trump if possible. So the trump cards, if you're not familiar, so the trump cards, those are the major arcanas. So that's like the emperor, for an example. So if I had the emperor and you guys had like the page of pentacles, I would trump you. I would win. So it's basically like that. It looks like it's a very simple, easy game. But if lacking trumps, then any card can be discarded. So if you don't have any trumps, if you don't have any of the major arcana, then you pretty much have a losing hand. You know, it's like a poker game. It's played to trick instead of following suit, and then retrieved to its player's pile of 1 tricks. So they talked of trickery, okay? So yes, they used it in a manner with an intention, a playful intention, but also at the same time teaching manipulation and teaching, not so good vibrations, right? Compared to what we do with it now, which we use it to guide and to tune in. So the mystics figured that out. They realized as they were playing this little game with the other people and elites and all that, they learned that, hey, I'm getting information from this. What is this? So that's when they discovered that they connect with a higher power. They discovered their supernatural abilities. And then what happened to those people? We all know what happened to those people. They tried to stop them. They took them out. And that's what the reality is. And we're still having the good versus the evil. You know, we still have it today. We still have, I have trolls now and then that come around, and they say it's witchcraft. They say that, I'm dark because I play with tarot. I'm not playing with tarot. Definitely guiding people. So tarot is a tool. We know this, right? Tarot is a tool. It's a tool. It's also a meditation practice. It's therapy. It's great for us. It's great as a guide if you can't make up your mind about something and you need a little guidance or just a little more support. Now, not all readers can read for themselves, and they can't really read those that they love that are close to them, or if they're attached to someone. So some readers, such as myself, can't really do that. So if you guys have a deck of cards and you're like, wow, I just made the 10 of Cups come out, it might be likely that you probably shouldn't read your own cards, because I can do that too. I can make the 10 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, whatever I want it to say, boom, it's there. For myself, but not for everything else. So I don't want to read for myself. No, it's not that fun. But anyways, tarot. Okay, so Lisa Victoria, let's touch on this. I'm glad you brought up spells. All magic is gorgeous, she's saying. So yes, all magic of the light. We are all magical in good ways, not in the dark ways, such as that Crawley guy. So that guy had more of a dark intention. But if you do happen to have one of those decks, the Thoth deck, it's all about your intention. No matter what deck you have Rider Waite, it's awesome. It's an awesome deck. It's your intention, and we talk about that a lot. Spells too. Now, I don't really know any spells, but I do know that it's about intention as well. Spells prayer, whatever it is, it's your intention. It's your love behind it. It's what you're doing with it. What are you trying to do? Just ask yourself that. So as long as it's all good intentions, it doesn't matter what tarot deck you have, just as well as it resonates, it feels good in your hands. I would love to hear some feedback on how you guys think the Arcana Shores tarot deck feels in your hands. Just your reviews are great if you want to leave it underneath this video. I appreciate that. But yes, spells as well. There are many good people that do spells, and they'll do it for their health. They'll do it for love. They'll do it in certain things, right? And they have great intentions. So we're not ruling out everything and saying everyone's evil that does certain things, because it's not true. And that would mean, if we were to speculate and bash anyone that did that, we would be just the same as the bad guys back in the day that burned us all at the stake, right? So that's not what we're doing here. Ricky Green, let's see your input here. Tarot cards reading is a great tool and has helped millions of humans learn and grow as humans. Yes, spiritual, to evolve. A church pastor directs humans on life choices, so why not tarot cards? I know, I felt the same way. And there's a lot of people I dearly love that go to church. They're very sweet, kind people, but they look down on me because of the cards. And if they only knew, I am not playing around. It is just to uplift humanity and to empower. And we all know this is about tarot, the whole show, okay? But anyways, the tarot is a story. It's a story that basically shows all different challenges, all experiences, love, relationships, family dynamics. It's all in this. It's all here. But with the missing cards, though, that bothers me. But I feel we did discover that today. We discovered that the missing cards were about supernatural abilities, the cosmos, planetary. Let's ask about the star families. Were those missing cards also exposing our star families? Because it just popped into my head. I bet you. Let's take a look. Seven of Cups. So more than that. So yes, but way more than that. And look, Justice. So that's my Justice card with the Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is definitely more than what I'm imagining. So it's more than that. So this is giving me that there's a whole lot of different things. I think realms. I'm picturing like it's all about different realms. Yes, the Cosmo families, the star families, but it's about the different realms. And what's coming to me is the distance between the different realms. I feel like they're all around us, like this room right now. There are all different realms that I could tap into if I wanted to. I can feel a presence around me. I can feel it, and it's good. It's a good one. But I think we could have tapped into a whole lot more with those missing cards. Ooh, and I really want to channel and make them myself and try to figure out what they are. But what we're picking up here is about a lot of truth and then a lot of different things. So not only the star families, but realms and many, many different things. And that's what I want to discover. I want to tap into that and figure it out. But that's very interesting. Let's see, Lisa, our higher dimensional parallel consciousness. Yes. Yeah, and you know what? Into our higher self. Our higher self is connected to those different realms very easily. So the more we communicate with our higher self, the closer we would be to other realms, because that's how mediumship works too. So talk to them up in the stars at night. Yes, very good point. Going outside, looking up at the stars and talking to them. Yes, calling them in. I'm always asking the UFOs to come get me, but they haven't come yet, but they are. They're coming for sure. So guys, I think this is a wrap. There will be another one. This was the first one. It's going to be a series because there's a lot to decode. There's a whole lot more that we can get into. But definitely, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. The pendulum, also Mary Jean G. We're going to do an episode on pendulums, crystal balls. We're going to do that because I have a crystal ball as well. But I want to go back through and see when that originated and also what the first intention was behind it. So, as we found out this evening about Egypt, Egypt was clearly through my cards what I was picking up and what you guys helped with the inputs too. We were picking up that Egypt was the origination of tarot, and they hid it, they destroyed what was left. So, very, very cruel. But we'll get to the bottom of everything else. So, pendulums, crystal balls, stay tuned because that's coming up next. So, anyways, we are going to continue to access our supernatural abilities and explore all of it. So, always feel free to leave your comments below and like what you would like to see as content. That's always welcome. And for those of you that don't know where to find me, if you wanted to reach me for a personal reading or for my beautiful tarot deck, Arcana Shores Tarot Deck, that's arcanashores.net. And everything's there: birth chart readings, quantum human design, and of course, the amazing tarot readings. So it's all there, all angel number priced as well. But, anyways, I will see you guys very soon. I'll be back on tomorrow. And yeah, you guys have a beautiful rest of your night. Take care. Bye.